So I wrote something about Rob from the Traitors for Vulture, and I think I have figured out what it takes to be great at US the Traitors. Is you have to be quiet, you have to be smart, and you have to be hot. And look at Dylan Efron, quiet, smart, and hot. Gabby Windy, quiet, smart, and hot. That's what it's like. You can't be too loud, you can't be too soft. You have to be able to think ahead, and you have to be hot enough that people are just like, I am in love with you, and I don't care. I don't think you're a traitor because you're hot.
Oh no.
Greg.
I thought this was a duet. Oh, so you're just gonna sing all the parts? Those are not the right sounds. Can you hear me? Bonk. Welcome to Miss Thing.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Tim. And this is a podcast that celebrates and appreciates the Miss Things of the past, present, and future.
Yeah, in every episode, we take a key moment from our Miss Thing's storied career and do what you and I are most skilled at, which is make it all about us.
Yes.
And today we have a very, very special guest, all the way from foggy London town.
Yes.
We have author and Housewives royalty, the historian, Dame Brian Moylan.
Thank you. Thank you.
We
for
are
having me.
truly honored to have you. We're starstruck.
I can't even believe you're actually on the couch. I mean, I have to say, you writing the Gawker Housewives
my
recaps
gosh.
100,000 years ago were so influential.
Thank you.
To my entire writing career, my entire personality.
I mean, it was a long time ago. We did lots of things that the kids wouldn't like these days that aren't cool anymore.
Sure.
I'm glad most of it has disappeared from the internet entirely.
Oh, yeah. Everything is completely scrubbed.
Everything's gone.
I had a question about you
Please.
being in, since you're in from London.
Yes.
Oh, right.
I mean,
yes. Do it.
I
Yes.
need to know, how is everything back home now that the royal family is in turmoil?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very difficult. Everybody has a big take. I think a lot of Americans, we think the Spice Girls are famous because they were famous here.
Sure.
But you do not realize the level of famous the Spice Girls were in the UK.
Yeah.
It's like everybody knows them. Everyone knows everything about them. It's like, yes. So this is just crazy. The only other time I have felt such fervor from the English people was that couple weeks where we decided Kate Middleton was missing.
Yes.
And we were like, where's Kate Middleton?
Yeah.
Where's Kate Middleton? And we were all speculating and whatever. And then she was like, guys, I have cancer. And then we were all like, sorry.
Whoops.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Kate.
That is so time capsule. I think Greg and I were just starting the podcast, and Greg was talking about Kate, and we were having a fun with it, and then we got nervous after recording. Like, wait, what if she actually is dead?
Yeah, I do feel like we kind of Cleo'd the situation and kind of
really
predicted
did.
it in a
Yeah.
weird way.
Yeah.
We kind of summoned it. We do famously say words or spells on this
I
podcast.
mean, well, and it was crazy how, I have never seen the internet shut up as quickly as it did after that, where she was just like, and it was just like, oh, we're leaving this all alone. Like, we are not even joking about it anymore.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what's great about the Beckham Peltzes is that we can continue to make fun of it and
Of course.
have theories. There is a bit of a Housewives connection, which is...
Okay, let's get into it.
So, the oldest secret Hadid sister...
Oh yes.
Right.
Oh yes.
Weighed
Does she
in
have
on
it?
Yeah.
this. Yes. And I forget her first name.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
Secret Hadid
Yeah.
sister.
It's okay.
But Nicola Pelt dated the brother, Anwar, for a few years.
Right.
And so the secret sister was like, no one has ever wanted to be more famous. This is all her, whatever. So
Do we know if the house on the hill is done yet? Muhammad's house?
Muhammad's house is done. And last I checked in on it, they made him tear it down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was building the most expensive house in the city, or the biggest house in the city.
yes.
Okay.
Famously for so long. I think even when Yolanda was
Where?
on the show, somewhere in Beverly
Okay.
Hills.
Somewhere in Beverly Hills,
Way,
yeah.
way high up at the
Yeah.
top of a hill somewhere. And it was riddled with problems, and it cost crazy millions, right?
Yes,
Do we know the cost?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was like hundreds of millions of dollars, I believe. And it was like breaking all these codes, and he was just like, "Oh, build it anyway." And the neighbors like sued him, and finally the court was like, "Yeah, you have to tear it down," because he thought he would just like build through it. I mean, yeah, I never took a shine to Mohammed Hadid, let's say.
Yeah, his reputation preceded him in a way that like it never was quite showing up on screen. I mean, Yolanda doesn't seem to have the greatest picker. Yolanda famously, she contracted Lyme disease when she was on the show.
Yeah.
And Lisa Rinna, who we will get into today, famously accused her of having Munchausen syndrome.
Lisa Rinna invented Munchausen so that she could give it to Yolanda.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
That was
okay,
huge.
and now that I know Lisa, that's fun to know. Yeah,
and I think that is a perfect segue into our first segment, Dodd Mom Sauce, a.k.a. Doll of the Day, Mother of the Moment, Sister of the Second. Our first
and most famous
segment where we take a person, place, or thing that we are currently super obsessed with. And today is a very special episode. We are going full Traitors. I know you're all watching. I know you're all obsessed. So we are doing Dodd Traitor. We are doing, obviously, Miss Thing is a traitor. Spoiler alert. And our Diva Down. We are doing a full Traitors episode.
Yeah. Okay. Traitors is huge. I'm not a reality person, naturally. And so this is a big deal because I literally can't get enough of it. Like, insert it into my veins.
Was there anyone you knew, like, before the season started?
Well, I love Drag Race. That's the one thing that so it's like, I knew, obviously, Monet. I always feel like they do the drag queens dirty.
Yeah.
And no one actually, who's not a Drag Race fan, actually gets to know any of them other than Bob or whatever, which is a whole different story. Yeah. You know, then like the randoms, like the Mama Kelsey, you know.
Yeah.
Was there people that I would have known?
You would know Johnny Weir and Tara, obviously, who are huge, which I have a theory about, but I will share that in a little bit.
That's actually a perfect segue to my Dodd Mom sauce.
Oh, okay, great.
Because the person I am completely obsessed with, and it's actually two people, but I'm going to zero in. I'm obsessed with, and what I can get enough of specifically right now is that Johnny Weir and Tara Lipinski think that they're pulling one over on us. That everyone's like, we're not going to talk to each other, and that like no one will think that we are like that we like each other, that we have an alliance. And I'm like, girl, even if you don't talk to each other, like everyone in that house knows that it's like the two of you versus, unless one of you is a secret traitor. But I just like love how much they are purposely trying to distance themselves, even though like no one's buying it for a second.
Right.
But specifically, I'm just loving Johnny because I'm like, Johnny, we'll get to Colton at a certain point. But I'm like, this is how a gay does reality, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm like, when he was sticking up for Colton at that one point in the round table when Michael Rappaport, like, sort of maybe did something or whatever, and he like stood up for him, and then right after that is going for Colton like hardcore the next episode. And I was like, this is it. He is just like I feel like he's just having fun, but also playing it, and he's playing it with integrity. And I'm loving Johnny Weir on my screen again.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I also think that I was noticing in the challenge, obviously, which this year, I will say, challenges are not being fast forwarded through as much as they have been in the past.
Agree.
They figured that out.
And they've been better on the American version than on the UK version, I think. Because they're like being American and like shadier.
Oh, I have so many questions about UK. I know you're a big fan.
I'm in.
Okay. No, I completely agree. And I loved actually too. He's like the first gay person where we've sort of like accepted that he's gay. And I loved the comment the other day when like Rob was going up to bed, and he's like, God, he's so hot. I can't even look at him. Yeah. I just was really surprised that they kept that in, but it actually felt like, oh, we're breaking new ground. This is the gay season. This season is definitely,
I mean, it's
for
always
the girls.
been gay, but this is gay.
So part of the reason it's always been gay is because Alan Cumming is an executive producer, and one of his things was, I want lots of queer people. And it's not just like, it's like gay, like Johnny Weir, not any of this like Colton, like I'm gay, but I'm like butch and I play football. It's like, I am a giant F slur.
Yeah.
And I am here. And do you remember Johnny Weir's reality show of his own? He had a reality show. I believe it was on Sundance Channel.
Okay.
And it was like...
What was it called?
It was like Johnny Weir, My Real Life, or some nonsense like that. Like, I don't know.
We're here.
On thin ice, or like, I don't know, Edge of the Blade, some nonsense. Yeah. But it was like one season, and there was lots of like Johnny in the bathtub for some reason.
Okay.
And
before
like,
Meredith Marks.
Yes, pre-Meredith Marks.
Yeah.
And it was, I want to say it was like 2009, 2010. It was on, and so it was like after his Olympic journey. And it was, he was with his Russian coach all the time. He was like pretending to be Russian, like speaking Russian. It was very bizarre.
Okay.
But I also was surprised that the first person to have a strategy was Johnny, where he was let's get together and like form a block. There's going to be 2 traitors in my group. Don't mind that. But like, I'm going to get it together and we're going to vote somebody out. And it's like, yes, like finally somebody is like thinking how to, some strategy. And it's not one of the Survivor people or the Big Brother people. It's Johnny fucking Weir.
Yeah. He's like, we're pulling together a group of faithfuls. And it's like Candace.
It's like Candace, Rob, Donna Kelsey from Beyond the Grave. Like,
literally a third of the group. I'm also loving Johnny Weir. I noticed during the challenge, I was like, he is so the substance Alan Cumming.
100%.
I don't know. Like, they're not totally respecting the balance. So I would love to see what sort of happens, you know, as we get closer to the end.
I mean, I think that explains Alan's hair choices, like, as the season progresses. It's like,
Johnny had to have jet black, and Alan got to change it every single day. I am a little worried about what's going on with Alan's hair. He's doing a little too much to it.
100% too much.
I have a very important question for you because I haven't watched UK, but I do feel like I'm missing out, which is who is the better host, Alan Cumming or the UK host? And I don't know her name.
Claudia Winkleman. So, like, Claudia Winkleman is like an English institution. She up until recently hosted Strictly Come Dancing, which is their Dancing with the Stars. She hosts like everything.
I've seen her line deliveries and I was like, oh, you'd be fun.
She's great. And she's like a little cunty, but it's like Alan is playing a character and Alan is giving over the top. And UK culture is so much campier than American culture that you don't need the Traitors to be campy, but Traitors in the US is like the only campy reality show. So I think it's a bit of a different thing. So I think Alan's playing into this, like, I'm a wacky guy hosting this game in my castle. And Claudia's just kind of doing Claudia, which is iconic on its own. But if she was like 2 notches higher, it would be cool. But she's like very supportive, like during the challenges and like supportive of the people and whatever. But it doesn't have the archness about Alan that I love.
Right. Alan's going full Shakespeare, like full Macbeth.
Is she throwing the pictures on the ground?
She is throwing the pictures on the ground.
Okay. That's a staple. Okay.
Yeah. And so that's like good. But she's always like, oh, you have 30 seconds left. You can do it. And Alan's like, I don't care. You know? And so it's a little...
He's doing his comments like, I could watch a housewife struggle forever or whatever he says.
And she's just like not like that. And so it's the UK, so it's all like nicer than it is here.
It's trending towards like game. It's trending toward like strategy, but it also does have that sort of like, I think that's why Housewives are so good on it too, because it has that... the ability to talk through whatever everyone's feeling.
It also feels like it has the ability to like rehabilitate your image if you do it right and you know how to, like it feels like then all of a sudden you can have a resurgence and have a whole new audience where it's like
Lisa
for me
Rinna.
it's like I didn't know Parvati before and then now it's like I would die for her. So it's like there's certain things that I know that she was already well loved in Survivor, but then it's just like you get this whole other...
Well, and I definitely think that there's people like Phaedra.
Same. I didn't know Phaedra.
Right. But also because of Traitors, a lot of people have forgotten the terrible things that Phaedra did on Housewives.
See, and I don't know that. Exactly.
And so I do think it's like Dancing with...
So it's good rehab for her where it's like,
Exactly. And now everybody loves Phaedra and they forget that she like lied about one of her stars like possibly trying to rape another one. So
But she was so beloved on the Traitors by everyone that basically Candy, who was the person on Atlanta who would not work with Phaedra anymore, who had been on the show for years and years. She's now off the show, and Phaedra is back.
Yeah, she because she was like, Phaedra can't be on while I'm on, and then she left, and they put Phaedra back on immediately, like in the middle of a season. We're like, get her on as soon as we can.
They were waiting for that moment.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So we have so much to cover.
Greg, what is your dad sauce?
Okay, so the thing that I am currently obsessed with the most is the way Maura Higgins says the word tink.
Oh my God.
It's not just the accent, it's the frequency with which she says this word.
Yes.
I personally think she knows exactly what she's doing when she is saying it. I cannot believe, yes, accents are fine. They're totally, I just cannot seem to separate the way that she looks and behaves with her suddenly sounding like a boy who flies calling for his fairy sidekick. She's like, I think Michael, I just can't, I can't see it coming out of her. So it's just so amusing to me every time it does.
I also love when Irish people say ting, meaning thing. It's I tink the ting.
And I love when they say thanks because they go tanks.
Yes. Oh my God.
Love
an Irish accent. I could listen to one all day.
I also can't get over, and obviously everyone is stunning, and I know that they came from Love Island, but she is, well, first off, she is literally my pinky.
Right.
Oh my God, teeny
tiny. But I was like, this woman is stunning, and I know I'm not saying anything original or new, but I'm like, it's true that bias that you just want pretty people around. Because I'm like, I just want you around to look at you, even though I'm not even sexually attracted to you.
But not only is she pretty, she's actually so funny too. And I love clocking. There's this weird thing that I have where I like looking for piercing holes on people's ears and face. And I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but I can't look away. She has a piercing hole right here above her lip.
Of course she does.
I know, but it's the only thing I can ever look at. I'm like, okay, so you're a bad girl, and you did that to your perfect face, and I think it looks better because of it.
Wow.
She was so great on Love Island.
Is she?
You don't understand.
And were they on the same season, Rob?
No, because she was on UK Love Island, and then
he's American.
He was on American, and she hosts some of their after shows and things like she's kind of become a face of it. And then she was with a guy. She left the villa with the guy who was a professional dancer on Strictly Come Dancing, Curtis. And then they had their own reality show. And so she's a big deal. And she was the face of Ann Summers, which is the UK Victoria's Secret.
Love
it. And
it.
so she's everywhere there. But she's, the real Moriness has yet to come out, where it's bitchy, funny, standing up for herself, doesn't take any shit. And I'm waiting for her to get, as the numbers dwindle, for her to get
and
more
she's
going to
be around for a while because I don't think anyone's threatened by her. So it's she's playing it well in the sense of you might make it to the end just by purely good to have you around.
Yeah,
that's where the prettiness I think is working to her advantage, where it's also working to Rob's advantage. I think right now as well.
Yeah.
So I wrote something about Rob from the Traitors for Vulture, and I think I have figured out what it takes to be great at US The Traitors. Is you have to be quiet, you have to be smart, and you have to be hot. And look at Dylan Efron, quiet, smart, and hot. Gabby Windy, quiet, smart, and hot. That's what it's like. You can't be too loud, you can't be too soft. You have to be able to think ahead, and you have to be hot enough that people are just I am in love with you, and I don't care. I don't think you're a traitor because you're hot.
Well, I was going to say, that's why I actually thought, and I was going to say this later, is I think Maura would be a good traitor.
Yes.
For that exact same reason of that Rob is, because I remember being disappointed by Rob when I found out that he was going to be a traitor, and I was like, ugh. Because I originally I thought they were going to do Dorinda, and then I was like, oh, that would be so fun if it was all housewives.
Yeah.
And then when it was him, but then as it's going on, I was like, oh, he's secretly my favorite of the three. Although this week was an interesting moment, but I still actually kind of understood why he did it. But I was like, yeah, I love that he is, I don't know, like it's the other, I feel like he's someone who I don't know why he's acting the way he's acting, and it's exciting.
The thing is, and I've said it before, Rob is a bit of a stunt queen, and he's doing the exact thing that you're talking about. He bides his time, and he seems so low key, but then he really gets in the drama. Like he picks a moment like halfway through the season to start like doing his I don't know, and then he really gets so dramatic and everyone's really surprised by it, but then like everyone wants to rush to his like aid. He is great at playing the victim. He's like perfect straight guy, like super hot straight guy who can like manipulate you like that.
And there's this kind of like sad sacky, like hot straight guy sad sackiness where it's like he is like 30 seconds away from putting on a Lana Del Rey playlist and having a good cry. Right. And that makes us all want to like love him. And I think that there's something about him being a traitor is so even though he's lying to everyone in the castle, we think he's like telling the truth and he's like real, even though he's like secretly this terrible stunt queen who will like totally screw you over.
Exactly. I think he'll go far.
I think he's gonna win.
Anyways, Brian, what is your Dod Mom sauce?
My Dod Mom sauce, speaking of Rob, is those overalls, girl. With
I was just about to bring him up again.
Oh my God. Like
I couldn't. It is. Greg and I have talked about it so much. I don't even know if it was on the pod, maybe offline. It was literally. I can't. Sorry.
It's just he knew it because Traitors has become about the Lukes with the EWK, you know, and it's like everyone's dressing. Candace looks like she is a stewardess on an airline that doesn't exist, you know, it's all just like insanity. And, you know, he just shows up in overalls and no shirt, and that's like all we want to talk about. We're just like obsessed. Everyone's staring at the arms, everyone's staring at the tattoos, like everyone's forgetting everything. They're just like, and Dorinda's like, I'm in love with you, be my husband. Johnny Ware's like, you're so high, I can't look at you. And
it's annoying because it's like when you first see it, you're like, you're not gonna get me with those overalls. And then 2 seconds later, your eyes are pinwheels and you're just like,
and there's a shot of him like sitting on the couch and he puts his arm up and it's just like, wreck me, like ruin my life.
And not to blow up my dear sister of the pod, but we went shopping this weekend, and the one thing that Greg ended up shopping for, and I think it had to do with this, is Greg tried on 2 pairs of overalls.
Shirt or no shirt.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have the raw body or the tattoos. See, that's the thing. He has been playing the long game. So it's not just about the overalls. He knew where his entire, like how to get the tattoos. Like the tattoos are part of the outfit with him. So 100%. He was waiting, like that's his tux. You know, he was waiting for the moment, like for a formal occasion to like wear his finest outfit. And that's, I mean, it's on his body.
And how many lame West Hollywood gays are going to be Rob in the with fake tattoos and the overalls for Halloween?
Oh my! I hope probably, unfortunately, too many.
I'm gonna put my fake body and my fake tattoos on and my real overalls and pretend that I'm Rob from the Traitors.
Well, it's also, I feel like that is such a gay thing that we would do, in the sense of like, by the time Halloween comes around, it's like 10 months too late. And we're like, what do you mean you don't know who I am? I'm Rob from January of the Traitors. And you're like annoyed that the person doesn't get it.
You should just dress up as the overalls, and it's like, I hate gay Halloween. What do you mean? You're like Rob's overalls for the Traitors.
Right. I'm gonna be Maura Higgins saying Tink.
It's like a thought bubble that says like Tink on it. That's you.
Well, with that, I think we should go to break.
Yes.
We're back, and it's time for our Miss Thing of the Week.
And we're going to jump right into it. Our Miss Thing, of course, we've already said it,
is the Traitors.
But on break, I just realized this. I'm really quick, you guys. Jennifer says, you guys know how quick-witted I am, which is I just realized now, after like 30 minutes recording with you, that you are wearing a brooch. Is this a nod to one Miss Lisa Rinna?
It was not intentionally, but let's say that it
Okay,
is.
I was literally like, yes, I'm going to say it for you. That I was like,
it's for Lisa Rinna.
Yeah, I was like, this is for the way that this episode ended. She puts on that brooch. And I remember thinking, we were just talking about the looks, and I was like, when she was like, and I knew that the housewives obviously dress very opulently. And so then I was like, and I thought it would go way more better with Candace's outfit, and then
Right.
and then when I saw what Lisa's wearing in next episode, and I was like, no one for a sec, especially since everyone's eyes are on Lisa after this last episode.
Yeah,
I was like, that brooch could be. And then when she puts on that outfit, I was like, that is fucking insane.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
And anyways, I thought that maybe was a nod to her.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and Dorinda also had a great look where it was like a ton of brooches, remember? And so it's like very brooch heavy. Yeah. I live in England, and it's awash with used brooches, so they're easy to come upon. But mine's not poison. You can touch it all you want.
I was just about to say, at some point in the episode, I'm going to reach over and touch it and see if I live to see another day.
It's going to be a full murder in plain sight.
Suck your soul into the brooch. That's what already happens.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. So we've only seen through episode 6 at this point, right?
Yes.
So where we're currently at in the season is they're about to have the dinner, the famous dinner where Lisa was just betrayed by Rob. Yeah. They haven't had the opportunity to talk about it. Colton is running amok.
Can we talk about what everyone felt about Rob's move?
I support Rob's move because I think he's right. If he had voted for either of them, they would have been like, that's crazy. Yeah. And so I think he did need to vote for Lisa, but then I also think he needs to start walking it back. But it's been a weird season that the Traitors have been getting along. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so at some point, they're going to need to differentiate themselves. I think it's going to be soon when everyone comes at Lisa.
I also agree with that. And also because everyone made such a convincing argument for Lisa, there was a real world, even without him voting for her, that she went home, and then it would be a good look for him to have voted a traitor out. Yes. And so obviously it makes them not trust, but I was like, it's a very great gameplay move. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm the most surprised by him. Yeah,
I agree with that, but I could tell he was going to do it starting earlier in the day when he started doing the I don't know. And that's my least favorite thing about Rob's personality is all of a sudden he pulls back on sort of how he's been acting. And then he goes, oh, I don't know. He's like a victim to like the whims and the circumstances of everything else.
On Love Island. It was like he'd get with this girl and be like, I don't know. And he like, after Leah, he like cycled through a bunch of them. And it was always like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then he meandered around the villa for a few more weeks until he eventually got kicked off because there was no reason for him to be there. But I think he's playing this very well. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what starts happening between him and Candace.
Yes.
Because I think Candace is hurt. I think Candace will probably start being... I wonder how she's going to deal with him, because I wonder if she's going to like go full this is war, or if she's going to continue to pretend like she's working with him. Candace is smart. I think right now she's lucky that Rinna is such an obvious target, and I think that they probably would not believe in a million years that there would be two housewives.
Never.
So I think it's a brilliant choice on the producer's part.
And it's good cover for Candace, because if they can get Lisa out, then she's good. But I loved when they corner Rob in the kitchen after, and Candace like throws a cookie at him, and I was like, "You are lucky there was not a butter knife around, or else you would have gotten it from Candace."
Well, I also was wondering about like, it felt like the way they were editing it, it was like someone could walk in at any moment. But the way I was watching was like, I honestly feel like everyone else went, like, because I know that like this going up the stairs is fake, like they don't actually stay there.
They go to like the Sheraton.
Just like let the Traitors stay.
Oh,
in the
it's not even a Sheraton; it's like a Premier Inn.
Oh,
really?
It's by the Aberdeen Airport, which is like North Scotland. So it's like, imagine a La Quinta near the Cincinnati airport. Wow. Like that's where they're staying.
Okay, since you are the premier expert of all things reality, if no one else says this. This is what I'm claiming this for you.
I will take it. I will claim it myself.
Okay.
You do have an official title in the Housewivesian world. Can you let us know what it is?
Well, I'm Dame Brian Moylan, president and founder of the Real Housewives Institute. That is my...
Speak on it. Exactly.
That is my official title.
Because that is your official title. I want to know, based off your expertise, who do you think is going to win the season? And who do you think will be the final Traitors and Faithfuls?
Ooh, that's a good question. I right now it seems like if Lisa Rinna and Candace don't blow up his game, that Rob is going all the way to the end because nobody suspects him, and I feel like Rob is smart enough to take the kind of quiet, stupid ones, which is what they need to do to win. So it's like Stephen Coletti, Mark Ballas, Eric Nam, Kristen Kish. Like, I feel like that's kind of where it's going to go.
And of course I know who
All
these
those
people
last names.
are.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
saying these names, stop like, who?
And Eric is a singer.
My brain, just the ping pong
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
brain. Are those people? Are those people?
Yeah, they are people. They're actually on the show. You haven't seen them at all.
Eric Nam is famous for what song or band or?
I have no idea. He's a singer, songwriter.
Yeah.
He has like millions of followers. The kids know. I do not. I have no idea.
I will say that was one of my favorite reads, and I'm no fan of the Big Brother players on the show, but when he accused Tiffany
Oh my God,
of
yes.
hearing her laugh, and she goes, "You need a new day job."
Yes. Oh my God. Tiffany got done dirty.
So
Oh my
bad.
God. She's such a good character too. Like, she's so great on Big Brother. And yeah, it's sad that Colton was just like, we're going to take a big swing and go for Tiffany. Like, girl, why is that a big swing? Like, what are you even doing?
That's actually Colton playing like a Big Brother player on that show.
Yes.
You know, I've
That's why,
had many gripes about, I worked on Big Brother. I know the show. I know the way it works. I love Big Brother, but for whatever reason, the skills really don't transfer from that show to this one.
No.
I'm thinking it might be a speed thing.
100%.
Because like the key to Big Brother is just lasting.
Yes.
Lasting for like 90 days or however long you're in that house. And then you have the option between two people that you're going to vote for. One of them. I just don't think they have like the scope and the speed that this game has. So I've had issues, but I do think Tiffany has been the best Big Brother player on this game.
Yes.
Because I think when you make them traitors, like they're all about making,
Big
moves and then
Yeah.
no one sees it coming and then it just throws everything into disarray at the table.
Yeah.
Dan Giesling completely
Terrible.
destroyed.
She didn't even. I mean, I don't even, since I don't watch Big Brother. Like, she didn't. I mean this with all love, but I didn't care about Tiffany and about on this season because she hadn't been there long enough,
and she hadn't done
any move, and so it just felt like she got the only thing I felt bad for because she was the one who was like, I have a son that I want to take to, or like pay for college. That was the only thing. But then when she left, I was like, it's how I feel about Drag Race contestants, where I was like, they're always kind of like, get out early, and then I'm like, oh, you don't get to see,
Yes, it's like Dorinda last year, where it's like you didn't get the full experience. I feel that way about Ian Terry from Big Brother. They were smart to murder first because he's really smart and would have been great at this game, but I would have loved to see him play.
Okay, and then this is my last question. We'll get into our missed things, which is, who would you think is the best to recruit as being a traitor?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I feel like maybe Dorinda, maybe if there's more housewives, or I feel like a Johnny Weir or Terry Lipinski, like someone who they're never gonna kind of guess who it is. But I think Johnny, I mean, I think every gay guy secretly would be a great traitor. In a way that like Johnny would be like, yes, I'm in.
Unless you're Bob and you play way too hard.
But Bob got dicked over by Boston Rob, though.
He
I
did.
still feel like that's... Oh my God, I always call Boston Rob 4-time Survivor loser Boston Rob because I don't think he's good at these. He is not good at this game. And he was not good at Traitors either. And it's like, because and that's the difference between his game and Rob's game. It's like, Boston Rob is like trying to control it. It's like I'm going after these people, and it becomes so obvious. Whereas Rob this season, he's just like nudging everyone. He's just like moving it in these imperceptible ways, so it's like off of him and off the other traitors, and that's the way to win. Like if you make rise above too much, everyone's like, you're a fucking traitor.
And off of what you were saying before about like them just being like pretty and like all the 3 traits, where I was like, like my expectations are so low for him that even when they brought up to him in the car, like, do you think Lisa could be a traitor? And he just says the word plausible. I was like so proud of him.
Yeah.
Like I had such low. I was like, that's a great word to use in that moment.
Good job, Rob. Yeah.
Right.
You're like acknowledging it, but not saying it. Yeah. You're just like, right in the middle.
It's perfect like expectation setting. Yeah.
Well, he's so wishy-washy that it's perfect.
Yeah.
It might get him in trouble later.
Yeah.
See, so I am actually convinced that because I think this show is cut like Survivor, it's edited like Survivor, and that's why I think sometimes it can be so exciting and like you actually don't know which direction it's going to go. Like how they, we got into the Lisa and Colton thing. You kind of saw it coming, but I didn't think like the whole table was going to go Lisa kind of the way that they did. But early on, I can't remember who said it, but someone said, I think it's one of the pretty boys. Was it Michael?
Yes.
But someone said that, and this show is deceptively, like, they leave nothing off the table. They put everything in that you need.
100%.
And someone said that early on. And also the other guy from, I think it was Survivor, I can't remember his name, the other Rob, he also quickly said the thing about Candace right before they got rid of him, which I think is her only, maybe she might get clocked for that. I think Candace is playing really smart because she is going to the round table and she's talking.
Yeah. Well, and she like picked somebody and was just like, I think it's you. And so whenever anyone's like, who do you think is a traitor? She just goes, Ron. And so it'll be curious
so curious too.
Yeah, like now that he's gone, like does she pick another person, just stick to them, or because that's what gets Lisa is every time they're like, who do you think is a traitor? She's like, I don't know, and it's like you can only do that so long before they start to get suspicious.
I think Candace knows which way it's going, and I think she knows it'll be no love lost when Lisa's going either this week or next. It's the case, but I think it'll be very interesting to see what happens next. I agree. I think Johnny or Tara is my theory is that if Candace stays in there, I think she's going to recruit Johnny and Tara. If Rob gets out,
oh my god, that would be amazing.
I don't think she can recruit Tara because she is openly like alliance with her like now in the castle. Well, so it would be too like I don't know, like I feel like she should do someone random like Stephen Coletti or something.
Well, it also would be smart to keep Tara around because if she gets all the way to the end with Tara, Tara's like, I think you're a faithful, and then Candace walks away with all the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then her husband can open another terrible restaurant that nobody goes to.
And off of that, I think it's time. We've talked a lot about the traitors. We're going to continue to talk about the traitors, but I think it's time we talk about ourselves.
Yeah, let's make it all about
Greg,
us.
Would you like to go first?
Sure. Well, as you know, I've talked about on the podcast in the past, I have a history of working in reality television, and because I know how the sausage is made, I've always sort of been resistant to ever go on reality TV myself, with the exception of I would always love to play Survivor.
Same.
And now I would love to play the Traitors. So if anyone from the Traitors is listening to this, you are more than welcome to cast me on the show.
But there's that now NBC show, right? That's like for regular people.
It's just Traitors Civilian.
I believe it's going to be on NBC.
Yeah. Which we, of course, will be watching, and I, of course, will be on.
Fingers crossed.
And you will go home first.
Oh, okay. Well, I whatever Colton does, I'll do it again. But as a traitor. And I'd be terrible at it because I cannot lie at all.
Same.
I'm truly. Oh, yeah.
I cannot lie at all.
I believe you can lie, and I feel like you could be so. I actually think you would be great. I just think you will get. My prediction for you would be you would get too heated at the round table. And that would be
I do have a bit of a temper.
That would be your downfall. But good or bad, it just depends on how you nudge people. Like if you're Colton nudging or if you're
I would say something a little too cutting and personal, in the heat of the moment. And then people would be like, whoa, you're actually a terrible human being.
Yeah, I would get a little too Michael Rappaport, and I would just and then they'd be like, whoa.
Yes. But I do think it would be a fun exercise in like if I were to be on the show and to be a traitor and how I like skirt around the situation. But to that point, there was actually, I was just remembering there was one time that I actually was interviewed to be on a reality show.
What?
And this was a few years ago. This is in 2019 when Vat and I were engaged. A friend was like, so, hey, we're doing this show about like wedding cakes. And basically it's like they bring on engaged couples and they sort of like bicker about, they have like 3 bakers or whatever who like vie to make like the perfect wedding cake for them. And then you walk away with like $2,000 or whatever for participation. It's like one day worth of filming, and I'm like, well,
and the cake too.
Well, I mean, we weren't like gonna get married that day. I mean, like maybe we could have the cake.
But then they would like when you did have your wedding, they would pay for you would get the cake.
Yeah, of course. But so, and I'm like, well, I know how this is not gonna like make or break me. I can do this. It's not gonna like destroy my career or anything. I probably will make a fool out of myself, but who knows? So a friend put us up for it, and we met with the casting director like one day before work. We're both like in work clothes. We kind of have like 10 minutes to do this, and she first starts before she puts us on. Before she starts recording, she's like, "Okay, so I'll do like a little pre thing," and she's like, "Well, so what do you guys do for work?" I'm like, "Well, I'm a comedy writer," and she's like, "Oh." I'm like, well, don't say that. And I was like, well, what? What do you
want me to lie? I work at Target.
Yeah. Exactly. So anyways, I was like, well, I'm a comedy writer. And she goes, well, don't say that. They don't like that. I'm like, they don't like what? She's like, well, they don't like when someone works.
They don't like your writing.
They're like, we've seen your shows. They're terrible.
We wouldn't classify it as comedy.
Right. So they're like, well, they don't really like when anyone like works in TV. So I'm like, well, okay, but I work in TV, so like, what do you want me to say? They're like, oh, well, don't say you're a comedy writer. So I'm like, well, I'm a producer then? And she's like, oh, no, don't say that. And like at the time, I was working in a writer's room. I was a script coordinator. Yeah. So it's like, well, how do I say that? It's like, it's not really a writer's room assistant. It's kind of like I proofread things. Like, I'm like, what do I say? She's like, well, just figure out like a different way to say like you're a comedy writer. So it's like, okay. She's like, well, we're going to go ahead and get started.
Great.
I'm like, I don't have anything to say. So the very first thing she asked is like, what do you do for work? And I said something absolutely psychotic. I was like, well, I empower storytellers to tell their stories.
Oh my God, that's so Amanda Francis on this season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Very that. Very that. And yet she got on.
Yeah.
I mean, hello.
And so I'm like, and then she's like, well, what does that mean? Yeah. I was like, oh, well, I work with writers. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, I'm a writer, And she's like, well, what kind of writing do you do? And I go, well, I'm a TV writer. I'm a comedy writer. So we're already off to a bad start.
Yeah.
And then
she's just giving you those faces.
Yeah.
So tell me more.
It's truly that.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, okay, so I'm back to where we began. I just sort of told you my career because I can't lie. And I'm not going to like destroy my reputation to be on this cake show. Right. No offense. Like, I don't need the $2,000 that much. But of course, I was like, we're definitely going to get on. So Vat, to his like, he was really putting in the hard yards. They were like, well, what kind of cake do you guys want? And he's like going crazy. He's like, well, because she's trying. First of all, she also goes, be as crazy and out there as you want with what the things are, what that you would want on cakes. And meanwhile, like, I would not want anything. I'm like, I'd like yellow cake and like chocolate frosting. Yeah. But he's like, oh, well, I want like a tier where there's like koi fish, like swimming around, saying the most insane things, like, which she completely encouraged us to do. She goes, that's crazy. That's not possible. So then he had to like comment down. We
yeah.
could not figure out what this
Oh
lady
my
wanted.
God. Right.
But we thought we were like totally serving. And actually, when I told Matt that story last night, he was like, well, we really botched the So yeah, needless to say, we didn't get on that show. And I felt very Dorothy Spornak on the episode of Golden Girls where she is auditioning to be on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And then like she doesn't get through, even though she gets everything right, she doesn't get through because he doesn't think America would root for her. So yeah.
Which, I mean, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
We wouldn't. I mean, I would.
I mean, yes, but...
Oh, no, we would not. Unfortunately, I'm such a Dorothy.
Speaking of which, I have a Sophia Petrillo story for you.
Okay.
And it's related to our Miss thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're going back. Mm-hmm. It's Chelsea, Manhattan, 2007.
Okay.
I thought that was a person for a second.
No.
Chelsea
literally for a second, and then I was like, okay, yeah.
That's who I am at Sex and the City. I'm Chelsea Manhattan.
And
I'm Chelsea Clinton. Okay.
At the time, I was the editor-in-chief of Next magazine for homosexuals, which was like the...
mic drop? Okay.
Yeah.
Which was the like gay listings magazine, whatever. And so I would get invited to like all these parties, like all this gay nonsense, whatever. And I was invited to a party, and it was at the Universal Gear Store on 8th Avenue. Do you remember this?
Of course. That's where I got all my clothes.
Down the street from the Big Cup.
Is this is this sort of like an S&M-y
No,
gear? Okay.
it was like clothes for gay. Now it would sell like Pink Pony Club crop tops and like fans that say, "But Daddy, I love him."
Okay.
But it was like the 2007 version of that, so it was like fake Abercrombie, like gym clothes and like tacky man jewelry and lots of Speedos.
Okay.
Yeah, and like rainbow short shorts. Yeah, it's very Santa Monica Boulevard.
Yeah.
Yes, very much that.
Block Party, WeHo, whatever.
Block Party WeHo, 100%.
Very the Rounder Bum store at the corner. Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah.
So I got invited to a party there, and it was being hosted by Alan Cumming. And it was the Alan Cumming fragrance launch. And it was called Cumming. And it smelled like cum.
I couldn't, no offense, could not imagine a worse.
Wait.
Same.
On purpose, or you felt it smelled like cum?
I mean, I think on purpose.
Okay.
And
sure.
So it was called cum.
It was called Cumming.
Okay.
And it was like a scent that was like cum and other indeterminate notes, whatever. But so
was his cum used for the? Do we know? Okay.
I mean, I would only assume.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time he was also very involved in the intactivist movement. Do you know what this is?
Is that like not getting circumcised?
Yes, it's like making sure like boys don't get circumcised.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is in addition to like that monkey thing that he was so on board about.
He has had causes over the years.
Right. He's really fighting for the rights of everyone, you know?
And there was like 12 people at the Cumming fragrance launch in the Universal Gear on 8th Avenue in Manhattan, including myself covering it for Next Magazine for Homosexuals. And and I got a free bottle of Cumming.
Did you get sprayed as you walked in?
No. There was no. I got sprayed. You got sprayed on the way out, as you should.
As any good gay party happened.
I mean, hello.
Yeah.
And that's kind of all I remember about the party. There wasn't like much to it.
Yeah.
But
he's like the original Gwyneth Paltrow's like, this candle smells like my vagina.
absolutely 100%. He was Goop before Goop even gooped.
Well, quite literally Goop.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Tim, now that we've got that, I'm like shaken from that story.
I'm also like, I need time to recover from that. But so how I make the Traitors all about myself is there was a time where at 19, I studied abroad in the Netherlands in a castle. And you're 19, so you're up to hijinks. And so I remember, this is the epitome of like jokes that were happening at 19, which is like, for whatever reason, we studied with like 60 people in a castle. And at one point, one of my friends, I took a photo of him while he wasn't looking and I posted it to Facebook. And like everyone, it was like it was like a semi unflattering photo, but like it was just like looked like I was like stalking him basically, and it got a lot of like likes, traction. Forgot about it. The next weekend we went to Belgium as like a class, and then my friend, to get back at me, posted an album on Facebook for that entire weekend when I wasn't looking. It was just like 60 photos of me as if like he was stalking me, basically.
Oh no, that's your worst nightmare because you are so specific about your angles.
Well,
Mariah Carey
you know where it started? You know where it started was this album, which was just like, and then this album became like the most liked album of this, like, it was called the Castile Well program, and like at Castile Well, it was like this took on a life of its own. People loved these images of me.
God.
Just like everywhere, wherever I went, like sleeping, like it was like sort of creepy, but also funny.
What is your look at 19? Like hair?
Okay, I had blunt bangs, straight across,
but not like in a fashion way.
No,
Not like Claudia Winkleman.
No. Like, and it was like still pretty much same style, but like way more like Midwestern and slightly baggy, and like basically cut to like so how the castle worked. It was like they would shut down on the weekend, so you had to travel to a different country because you couldn't get food. Like the showers would not be like hot. Like they like the whole purpose of the program was to be like you study from Monday through Thursday, and then from Friday to Sunday you're in a different country. And on Wednesday night, there's only one bar in this little rural town where this castle was, where you would like everyone would get drunk at 19 and then you go like out. And it was like towards the end of the semester, and I was like really just, I was like so behind, I was like neglecting I was like not doing well in classes because I just cared about where I was going that weekend. And then I was like, okay, I have to do well on like the midterms to like come up with like, to make sure that my grades are good. And my best friend was like, we have to go out to the bar tonight. And I was like, I'm going to skip it. Like I really need to do well. Like we're taking this test tomorrow, and then we're flying to whatever country we were going to. And he was like, no, you need to come out. And I was like, no, I'm not going to come out. And then it got like kind of intense where he was like, you're coming out. And I was like, no, I'm not, like rest. And I was like drop it. And he was like, I'm like, you have to come out. And then finally I was like, it feels like, is there something I don't know? Like, why do you care so much if I go? And he was like, there's nothing happening. I was like, well, you're acting like it's like a surprise party. It's not like near my birthday. It's not anything, but it's like, why do you fucking care if I go to the bar tonight? And he was like, can you please, like, I just need you to come to the bar. And I was like, okay, will you swear, like, on your family's life that there's like nothing weird happening? Like, I'll come out for like 15 minutes, so you'll like drop it and I'll come out. And he's like, thank you. So then we go to the bar, and it's like a 15-minute walk. I walk into the bar, and then every single person in the bar is wearing a mask of my face.
It's also like, very Traitors.
Very
Traitors.
And it was like, I neglected to say that there was a theme. The bar had a theme every night that they would change. And the theme was the Tim album. So then it was just people covered themselves in photos from that album from like earlier in the semester. And I famously, as Greg knows, like I don't have good reactions to things.
No, God, no. He doesn't love surprises.
Well, that's the thing that I've learned, which is the more you tell people that you don't like surprises, the more people want to prove you wrong. And this is one of them, which is like, and I was so paranoid about it. Like I was saying, like, this better not be a surprise party. And it wasn't a surprise party, but it like, I don't know what. And then
it totally was.
And then my reaction was truly like look back at the photos and the video that people were taking, so angry and annoyed at it. Like, I feel like people was like, oh my God, like, wow, thank you. And I was like, no. And I was literally trying to leave the bar to do it. But literally very Traitors. Like it was just everyone. I'm not like, it was a cardboard thing where people would do a cardboard, and then they had side photos of me from the side, and then a photo like of me front on.
Oh my God. So creepy.
So creepy. I need to find, maybe I'll be able to find it and we can post, but it was an insane thing.
That was a challenge you wish you could have fast forwarded through.
Oh my God, absolutely. And you're like, you have to find, every time you find the real Tim, you get $1,000.
Well, with that, I think we should go to break. Welcome back. And it is almost time for Diva Down, our final segment. But first, because we have the true historian, and we could talk for hours about it.
Oh my God. There's nothing I like more than talking Housewives.
Yes, we need to briefly touch on Housewives. I think we should talk about Salt Lake. What did you think about this season?
I like this season. I mean, it got annoying when Meredith refused to take any accountability whatsoever for what happened with her and Brittany.
Completely agree.
And so everyone's like, oh, Heather and Whitney won't let it go. And it's like, well, yeah, because Meredith's telling them what they saw didn't happen. You know, and it's not their fault. It's Meredith's fault. And if Meredith was just like, yes, I was meaner to Brittany than I should have been. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. But no, she can't do that. She has to make everything look like perfect. Even at the reunion, her and Lisa were doing the same thing. We have to be perfect. What you saw didn't happen. Here's what really happened. You're a liar. It's just like crazy. And I think Salt Lake is so good.
It's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And like, don't fuck with it. But the problem is when you get these situations where one person won't accept any responsibility, you get into these places where it like can't move forward. And you think about why Candace had to leave Real Houses of Potomac because she could not resolve her fight with Giselle. And, you know, same thing with Nene Leakes. Like, she just stopped being able to get over things. And once you get to that place, it's like a death knell for the show. And so I'm worried about Meredith and Lisa.
I agree. Dorinda is another good example of someone that was obviously misbehaving and couldn't admit to it.
Yes.
And it became impossible for the viewer too. I think maybe one or both of them is in trouble, Lisa and Meredith. Because
absolutely. They won't get rid of Lisa.
No.
Because she's still like iconic. But Meredith, yeah, for sure. Especially if the other women don't want to film with her. Like, yeah.
Especially if they need to fly her in, because she definitely doesn't live in Salt Lake.
No, she sure doesn't.
Yeah.
But I followed her and the Marxes at BravoCon and wrote an article about it for Vulture. And, you know, I asked Meredith, like, where are you living? And she was like, I live most of the time in Utah, and I count my days for tax purposes. So I was like, that sounds like the answer of somebody who may not live in Utah as much as she's saying she lives in Utah.
Sure.
This is making me think of a question. Obviously, I don't know that much about the Housewives, but I am curious. Of the Housewives that have left their franchises, who would be, of any of the franchises, who would you want to come back the most?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I feel this is kind of like skirting the answer, but the original Roni Real Houses of New York cast needs to be on television in some capacity.
Completely agree.
That exact cast.
Or just like, you know, we need Sonia, we need Luann. You know, we could bring back any of the old ones. Ramona might be a little too problematic.
Yeah.
But I think that we need the Dorinda, like we need those gals like back on our TV. And I think if we had that, we would be nicer to the Real Houses of New York reboot.
Completely agree.
I also think that every time she's been fired, Sheree Whitfield has been done wrong by. Never should have gone anywhere. One of the best housewives we've ever had. Yeah. Also, I would love for Nene Leakes to come back with like Portia, Phaedra, like that would be such a good cast of Real Houses of Atlanta.
Okay, and then my other question, Greg has been trying to get me to watch The Housewives forever. If there was one season, any like season 2, season 3, any of the seasons in any of the franchises, what is the one that I should like enter into the Housewives franchise with?
I think that for me, the best season ever is the third season of Real Housewives of New York, which is Jill versus Bethany.
Yes, same answer.
It's Scary Island. It's Money Can't Buy You Class. It's Brooklyn yelling at each other on the Brooklyn Bridge. It's Ramona's Brooklyn Fashion Weekend Walk. It's like hit after hit after hit. You do need a bit of context of like Bethany and Jill to like fully understand whatever, but it's like such a good season. And the Scary Island is like 3 episodes where they go on this trip, and it's just like the absolute absolute best.
Lives were
You said it
changed.
was like
Yeah.
season 2 of Beverly Hills or
Well,
something.
okay, so
The first couple seasons of Beverly Hills are also amazing.
I agree. Yeah, it's that. I think that I think New York is the best way to start because they
Yes.
are full comedians. And actually,
Yes.
season 3 of New York is when I first started watching it regularly.
Yeah.
So I was watching it. It was like the Bravo afternoons where
Yes.
I'd watch it for like truly 24 hours, like when it was available. But I do think that the first 2 seasons of Beverly Hills are great places to start.
Amazing.
I think they're essential. I think the second, you need to watch the first season to get to the second season.
Yes.
But I think the second season is such an explosion of like circumstance, almost overtaking the show, which I mean, it's very tough to say, but Taylor Armstrong's husband, Russell, killed himself while they were in production.
No, it was
the end.
It was at the end of production before it aired, but then they brought cameras back up to like record the women talking about their suicide. Yeah, they almost didn't air the season.
Yeah.
It was like a whole thing.
It was a big deal. And then it cast this just enormous shadow over the season. So you're watching everything with the context of like, she is very unhappy in her marriage. She has a serious, like maybe drinking problem. She's potentially being abused. And then he went and killed himself.
Yeah.
So you're watching it with that. It is so
it's
dark.
a lot.
Yeah.
And
But also amazing.
It's major.
Yeah.
It's major.
What I'm always curious about is I have been watching Housewives from the beginning. So I've never binged any of them. And so I feel like now we see all these people going what I like to call a journey. And you like watch all of Real Housewives of New York in like 3-4 months.
Yes.
You know, whatever.
Yes.
And I just wonder like how that is different from our experience. Like you have these contexts and you have like room in between them. And I feel like, you know, when you have 6 months, however long between seasons, you like forget how much you hate Kyle Richards.
Right.
But then if you like watch season after season, you're like, I can't stand Kyle, get her off my, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it intensifies like everyone's like emotions about everything. So I'd be curious about your journey.
Well, it's so many years that you put in with some of these women. Like, you know everything they've been through.
You know their drink order, you know their pets' names, you know, like, everything.
Yeah, so in a condensed period of time, it is like watching, it's like watching Boyhood or something, like a Linklater movie where they like did it over the course of so much time. Like, you really feel like you grow and you evolve with them.
Okay, well, speaking of, we need to talk about the story of the Traitors, which is our Diva Down.
Sure. Yeah. And our Diva Down, of course, it's a final segment where we take a person, place, or thing that could use our unsolicited advice, whether they want it or not. And our Diva Down this week is, of course, Colton.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a secret?
Please.
Last night, I went to Laura Hardware in West Hollywood.
No, okay, so did you I always say when I walk into Laura Hardware, I feel like a 10, and then when I enter that room, I feel like I'm like, oh, I look like a 0. Those people are stunning. Anyone who enters that room.
100%, especially because guess whose birthday party was at Laura Hardware last night?
Stop.
100% Colton Underwood's.
He is an Aquarius, I learned.
And he was sitting at the middle of a long table full of hot gays. There were presents on the table, and I was like, oh, this is Colton Underwood's birthday party. And what a terrible time for Colton Underwood to have her birthday party.
Are they all just like mini hymns, or like they all look identical to him?
Well, there was the husband who is like him but older.
Okay.
He's like kind of like a Silver Fox daddy.
Okay.
And then, it was like mini Colton, West Hollywood, gym goer, you know.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah.
Wow. Not a Traitors castmate in sight.
Not a Traitors castmate in sight.
Yeah, so now Colton, obviously, everyone who's watching The Traitors knows where we're at with him. He is just acting a total fool.
Yeah.
And now he's elicited the famous Peacock thing where they say, please stop bullying our cast members.
Yeah.
And they're going to...
I do agree.
I
Yes,
agree.
I always agree.
Danielle didn't get it. And we
Yeah.
were all hard on Danielle. And there was these people are human beings. She got none of that.
Listen, I get why, like, there are certain people who, when they play games, they, like, lose themselves.
Yes.
They, like, we all have that one friend who, like, when they're playing, another person enters their body and then they become someone you don't want to be around. It's like, even when they win, they are annoying.
Yeah.
And when they lose, they're insufferable.
Okay, this feels pointed.
Yeah.
All right.
And they might be on the other end of the couch. No. And I feel like it's like, my advice is literally just like, have fun. I mean, I know you've already filmed it, but I'm like, with these people, I'm kind of like, if you were to just like chill. And actually, I know that the game is all strategy, but it is still possible. And that's my thing. I think, like, you've talked about this last week, where it's like, there are certain people, like the Pilot Pete's of the world.
Yes.
And the ones who take it, who just feel very, like, obnoxious about, like, needing to get it. Like, there's
Boy
such, like,
Scouts.
Boy
and
Scouts.
also the two from that girl from season 2.
Yes.
From the challenge. I cannot think of her name.
Trishelle.
Blonde. Trishelle.
Yes.
Oh my
Where
God,
it's like,
yes.
but just literally, like, relax, enjoy it. Maybe, like, think about your outfits a little bit more.
Oh my God.
And then actively listen. And you can still play it. Like, be like Rob. Do you know what I mean? Like, which I can't believe I'm telling a gay man to be like a straight man. Or be like Johnny, actually.
Yeah.
Well-
So I ghost wrote Adam Rippon's book, who would be great on the Traitors.
Okay.
Oh, we
He
need him
would.
on.
And one thing I will never forget that he told me about this was that, he worked like super hard, dedicated his life to get to the Olympics, right? And did all this crazy shit. And then got to the Olympics. And then once he got in, he's like, I've won. Like, and then now I'm just going to go and have fun. And if I win a medal, great. And if I don't, at least I had the best time.
Yeah.
And that's why he became like America's sweetheart, because he was enjoying himself
He
so
was
much.
so funny.
He was
Yeah.
so funny and fun and having a good time. And I feel like the same with Colton. It's like, girl, you got in the castle, just go, have fun, make some friends, try to rehabilitate your image, and let us forget you're a stalker.
And especially,
Right.
like, now that you're, like, publicly out as a gay man and, like, you have your husband, I know you, like, it's like, this is, like, again, you could have PR, like, done another image I can't say the word, but, like, rehabilitation.
I think
of just,
he thought he was.
Yes.
I really think he thought this was his big, like, his debutante ball, like, his coming out.
But then when he's, like,
Yes.
going for Lisa and, like, the way he's even delivering lines, you're like, you're just not fun to be around right now.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
he's also baby gay. Let's call him
Yeah.
what he is.
100%.
Baby
And
gay.
you see in the
Yeah.
outfits
Yeah.
the stage of being gay he's at, where it's like, I want to be gay. I want you to see I'm gay, but I still need to be hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
And
like,
it's, like, so not him either. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I saw the most unbelievable tweet I've ever seen before in my life. And it's an image of Colton in the upcoming episode
that
where he's
outfit.
wearing the pearls and he has that like crown on or whatever. And there is a phrase that I have been actually dying to bring to the pod that has been permeating my sphere recently. When there comes a time in every gay man's life where it's time to put on the wig or pick up the weights.
100%.
And I saw this tweet showing Colton, like, in the outfit for next week, talking about, like, so there are some mask gays that, like, don't have the fashion sense or the lived experience to, like, actually serve in kind of like a femme look. And they ended this tweet with, the wig is heavier than the weights.
100%. The wig is heavier than the weights, bitch.
That
So
phrase,
true.
Yes.
I will be nodding off in bed at night
Yeah.
and wake up and say, the wig is heavier than the weights. It is the most beautiful, poetic thing I've ever heard in my life. I wish we wrote that and we're bringing it here. But yes, so with Colton, my advice for him, he's obviously wanting to rehabilitate his image and he's obviously wanting to be on television. I think he's going to need to try again because this show has put him in an not a great position, but also we're seeing that next week he's sort of trying his hand at a more femme look. I think he has one place to go, and that's RuPaul's Drag Race.
Guest judge or on?
On. As I think he needs to
And
try
not
his
even, like,
hand as
celebrity version,
no,
like the real-
No.
okay.
I think he
Okay.
needs to spend the next year.
Yeah.
You know, but he's going to be boy in a dress. We know this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he needs to start like refining that a little bit. And he's obviously not going to make it to Snatch Game. But if he did, he's a first or second out, no offense.
Yeah.
But if he did, he should do Rinna.
100%.
Snatch
To
Game.
Julie Serena.
So good.
Yes.
So this is my and at least like the rest of us will feel good knowing that he paid so much to get all his outfits for the rest of the season and he like can't use them. So that's like our revenge as viewers for the way he was playing.
That would be amazing.
But
Okay, so let's.
Before we end the episode, Brian, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on all social media platforms at Brian J. Moylan, and my grinder name is Mustache Rides.
Yeah, that more importantly, find him there. And then, on our end, always like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, you guys. And
please give us 5 stars or above on Apple, Spotify, wherever you're listening. If you're not watching, you're only getting half the story. And go follow Brian and read all of his books.
And Cynthia, we love you.
Cynthia can't wait to hear how the show's going on the West End. Brian, you've got to go for us and report
please.
back. An investigative journalist.
100%.
Yes.
I am happy. I can't wait for Ariana Grande and
Yes,
Jonathan
and
Bailey
well.
right down the street from my house.
You are our satellite correspondent.
And we're
going to
do a special London episode. To do that. Okay,
let me know. I will happily report back.
Okay, wow. And with that,
we love you. Bye. Miss Thing Podcast is created, executive produced, and hosted by Greg Trimmer and Tim Zientek.
It's produced and edited by Benji Simons, with cover art and additional creative support by Claude Zeins.
Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Miss Thing the Pod.
New episodes drop every Tuesday. Watch on YouTube or listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, but only raves. Strictly 5 stars and above.
Follow Greg at Greg Trimmer and Tim at Tim_Zientek on all social media. Bonk.